Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Beyond Second Cognition. I'm Beall. The topic of this discussion is, there must be evil in order for there to be good? This particular doctrinal diatribe has been going on for thousands of years. It's prevalent in many different world religions and metaphysical, spiritual traditions that we must have evil so the good can be good. Because if you don't have evil to compare it to, then how can you know that you're good? This is ego, Hapim virus, rationalizing nonsense. There is no reason in the world for evil, which I qualify as tyranny, to exist for good people to be good people. If you need an excuse, like the existence of evil, in order to be a good person, then you have a problem. This doctrine also spouts a bunch of malarkey like, well, you have to balance the good and the evil inside you. Bullshit. Can't happen, won't happen, not so long as the Hapim virus emotions control you. You cannot achieve such a balance. It is not a balance at all. It is just a doctrinal fallacy. We explained in our videos how you attain balance, and that's by removing all of these programs, fear programs particularly, that keep you living in the shadow of your own skin. But this doctrine about evil having to exist so good can be good has been bought by so many people over the ages, and it's nothing but first cognition bullshit. It's the doctrine of the tyrants to make people believe that we have to have the tyrants so we can be good in opposition to it and show how good we are. It's total Hapim rationalized thinking. Well, I have to be good and show myself that I'm not evil. Do you have to have evil to be a good person, to exhibit your good qualities? I mean, because under this doctrine, you're using evil as an excuse. You can't be a good person unless you're standing in opposition to evil. Evil is what makes you good, if you believe this shit. And that's totally hogwash and nonsense. A lot of this stuff goes back to Gnosticism, where people felt that they were entombed in their bodies. We're spirits trapped in form. Well, if you look at the fact that the Hapim virus was a hijacker of the human body and its heaven was the hive, then yeah, the spirit or soul, or the virus cell, shall we say, was trapped in form, and the material world is evil and only the spirit world is good. When you don't understand the basis for all of this thinking, this dualistic evil has to exist in order for good to show itself as good, then you buy the bullshit. We shouldn't have to have an excuse as evil to be good people. Why should we compare ourselves and measure ourselves according to evil and tyranny? Because if we do that, if our measure of goodness is only predicated on what evil people do, then we're being reactive to the evil. We're not being proactive by being good people without having to have an excuse to be good people. We have to have evil to make us good people, because we can only measure our goodness standing up against the image of evil. Now, I'm going to ask you folks to ponder this very seriously. Do you really need the concept of evil to compare yourself to know how good you are? Seriously, ponder this on a deep level. Do you have to compare yourself to evil in order to find your own good? Or can you be good without that dualistic comparison mindset? We attest that you can. We don't measure ourselves against evil. We know how good we are. We're trying to help you folks figure out how good you are without having to compare it to evil, and how you don't have to react to evil by being good. Because if you are reacting to anything, it's nothing but ego-programmed emotional programming. So, do you really need evil in order for good to be good? Or is that just a justification of the tyrants to get you to buy the bullshit so they can continue to be evil and control the world? So you got to look at the doctrine pretty closely. You know, what better way for tyrants to control the masses other than to convince them that they're good people, but you have to have tyranny in order for the goodness to be good. That gives them a free pass. It gives assholes a free pass in the world to be tyrants if you think that you have to allow tyrants to exist before you can be good. I mean, think about it seriously. Think about it deeply. Do you have to measure yourself against evil to find your own personal justification, your own personal position of being good? Or can you be good without having to react to evil? I just wanted to put this thought out there because this dualistic doctrine that's prevalent in theosophy and so many of these other world religions, that you have to have evil before good can be good, is total bullshit. It's rationalization of tyrants to get you to believe that you have to allow them to continue to exist before you can be good. Because if they don't exist, you can't be good. That's the logic of the doctrine. Do you really buy that shit? I mean, seriously? Have you ever thought about this shit? Do you really genuinely believe that we have to have evil in the world before people can be good? To exercise being good people, being civil human beings, exhibiting common sense and personal responsibility? Do we really need the excuse of evil before we can be good? And if you say no, then toss that dualistic doctrine down the shitter where it belongs. And for all of you doing the work, stay the course and don't give up on